You're born in Brighton Beach, Brooklyn, 1987. Your parents came from Odessa with nothing. Your father drives a cab. Your mother cleans houses. They work 16 hours a day so you can have a life they didn't. You learn Russian first, English second. You learn that Americans look at you different. Not hate exactly, just something behind the eyes. Like you smell like somewhere else. Your father's brother, Uncle Misha, runs a auto body shop 2 blocks from your apartment. When you're 12, he starts letting you hang around, sweep floors, hand him tools. By 14, you can rebuild an engine blindfolded. By 16, you notice the cars that come in at night. No tags, bullet holes, men who don't talk. You don't ask. Misha doesn't explain. You graduate high school, no money for college. You work full-time at the shop. You're good with your hands, strong, quiet. Men look at you and see someone useful. When you're 19, a man named Nikolai comes to the shop. Gold chain, suit that costs more than your apartment. He talks to Misha in rapid Russian. Misha points at you. Nikolai looks, nods. That night, Misha tells you Nikolai has an offer. Collecting debts. Simple work. Good money. You ask what happens if people don't pay. Misha shrugs. That's why they need you. You take the job. First year, it's easy. You show up. You look big. People pay. The ones who don't, you break a finger. Nothing personal. Just business. You make more in a week than your father makes in a month. You buy your mother a new refrigerator. She cries. You don't tell her where the money came from. You're 22 when Nikolai calls you to a private meeting. Office in Sheepshead Bay. Leather chairs. Vodka on the table. He says you've done good work. He says it's time for more responsibility. He introduces you to a man named Sergei. Sergei is the one who handles problems. Permanent problems. You ask what that means. Sergei smiles. It means people who can't be fixed. You say no. You're a collector, not a killer. Nikolai looks at you for a long time. Then he nods. He says okay. He says go home. Think about it. Come back tomorrow. You go home. You don't sleep. You think about your mother, your father, the refrigerator, the look on their faces when they found out. You think about the other look, the one when you stop being useful. You go back tomorrow. You say yes. Sergei trains you. Not like movies. No fancy weapons. No speeches. He teaches you to be efficient, quiet. A car battery and jumper cables. A plastic bag. A knife in the right place. He says the goal isn't to be cruel. The goal is to be thorough. Cruelty is a signature. Signatures get you caught. Your first is a man named Yuri, 35. Accountant. Skimmed 200,000 from a gambling operation. They gave him chances. He didn't take them. You visit his apartment at 3 a.m. He's asleep. You wake him. He cries. You do what you came to do. It takes 4 minutes. You leave the way you came. You go home. You shower. You don't sleep for 3 days. On the 4th day, you eat breakfast. On the 5th, you go back to work. That's when you know something in you changed. Not broken, just different. Like a door closed somewhere. You're 25 when you meet Katya. She's a nurse at a clinic near your apartment. Ukrainian. Came here the same way your parents did. Works double shifts. Sends money home. You meet because you bring in a guy with a broken hand, debtor who learned the hard way. She doesn't ask questions. She just fixes him. She's beautiful. Not in a movie way. In a real way. Tired eyes. Strong hands. A smile that takes time to come out. You ask her for coffee. She says yes. For 6 months, you have something like normal. You take her to dinner. You watch movies at her apartment. She talks about her family in Lviv. Her mother's health. Her dream of opening a small clinic someday. You listen. You don't talk about work. She doesn't ask. She tells you she loves you. You say it back. You mean it. You start thinking about getting out. You have money saved. Enough to start something. A small business. Auto repair, engines. Something legitimate. Something she wouldn't have to lie about to her mother. You mention it to Nikolai. Just seeing. He laughs. Not mean. Genuinely amused. He says you're funny. He says you're like a dog who thinks about living in a tree. He says you're made for this. You always were. That's why he picked you. You don't bring it up again. Sergei gets killed. Rival organization. A hit at a diner in Coney Island. You're called to identify the body. His face is gone. You look at what's left and feel nothing. That's the job. That's what they made. You're promoted. Now you're the one who trains new guys. Kids from Brighton Beach. Same story. Poor, hungry, looking for a way. You teach them what Sergei taught you. Efficiency. Silence. No signatures. Some of them get it. Some don't. The ones who don't last. You're 30. Katya still asks about the future. A house. Kids. Normal things. You say soon. You say you're working on it. You're not. You know you're not. But you say it anyway because saying anything else would break something. She gets pregnant. She tells you in her apartment, crying, not sure if it's good news or bad. You hold her. You say it's good. You mean it. For the first time in years, you mean something completely. You tell Nikolai you need to step back. Family reasons. He looks at you. That same look from 10 years ago. He says okay. He says take 6 months. He says the door is always open. You know what that means. The door is always open because you can never really leave. But you pretend it's real. You go home to Katya. You start looking at houses online. You let yourself imagine. Your daughter is born in February. Maria. Dark hair. Her mother's eyes. You hold her and something shifts. Not the door closing. The opposite. Something opening. Something you didn't know was still there. You last 8 months. Nikolai calls on a Tuesday. Not a request. A summons. You go to his office. He's polite. Offers you vodka. Asks about the baby. Shows you photos of his own grandchildren. Then he lays out the problem. A man named Volkov, former associate, turned informant, in witness protection somewhere in the Midwest. They need someone who knows him. Someone who can find him. Someone who can finish it. You say you're out. You have a family. You have a life. Nikolai nods. He says he understands. He says family is everything. He says that's why he knows you'll do this. Because if you don't, someone else will. And that someone might not be as careful as you. Might leave loose ends. Might look at your family and see connections they don't like. You ask if he's threatening you. He looks hurt. He says your family. He would never threaten family. He's just explaining how things work. You find Volkov in Omaha. New name. New job. New house with a white fence and a dog. He's at a grocery store with a woman, wife, girlfriend, something. You watch him from the parking lot. He looks happy. He looks like you wanted to look. You follow them home. You wait 3 days. You learn his routine. You learn her name is Diane. You learn they go to church on Sundays. On the 4th night, you go to his house. You're inside before he wakes up. He sees you and knows. He doesn't scream. He just asks for a minute. You give him one. He writes a note to Diane. Says he's sorry. Says he loves her. You take it. You don't know why. You do what you came to do. It takes 3 minutes. You leave the note on the kitchen table. You drive back to New York. You don't stop. You don't sleep. You get to your apartment at 4 a.m. Katya is asleep. Maria is in her crib. You stand in the doorway and watch them breathe. Your hands are clean. You showered at a truck stop in Pennsylvania. But you still feel it. The wait of 3 minutes in Omaha. You don't tell Katya where you went. She doesn't ask. She knows. She's always known. She just pretended to. 6 months later, she leaves. Takes Maria. Goes to her cousin in Chicago. She doesn't say goodbye. Just a note on the counter. I can't watch you disappear anymore. I need her to have a father who's actually here. You call. She doesn't pick up. You drive to Chicago. She won't open the door. You stand in the hallway for an hour. People walk past. They look at you like you're nothing. You are nothing. You go back to New York. You go back to work. Nikolai welcomes you like a prodigal son. He says he knew you'd come around. He says this is where you belong. You don't correct him. You don't have anywhere else to be. Years pass. You stop counting. You're good at what you do. The best. Younger guys look at you with respect. Fear. Both. You train them. You watch them rise. You watch some of them fall. You feel nothing. Sometimes you get updates about Maria. Photos. School plays. Birthdays. Katya sends them through a lawyer. No return address. No note. Just photos. You keep them in a drawer next to a watch you never wear and a note you never gave anyone. Maria is 10 in the latest photo. She has your chin. Your mother's eyes. She's smiling at something off camera. You wonder what she knows about you. What Katya told her. What she'll never know. You're 45 when Nikolai dies. Heart attack. In his sleep. The way none of us will go. His son takes over. Younger. Hungrier. He calls a meeting. Everyone's there. He says things will change. More aggressive. More territory. More money. He looks at you and says he hopes you're still hungry. You say you're whatever he needs. You are. Tonight you're in a bar in Sheepshead Bay. Old place. Men your age playing cards in the back. You're alone at the counter. The bartender knows you. Doesn't talk. Nobody talks to you anymore. You've earned that. A young guy comes in. 25 maybe. Fresh face. Hard eyes. He sits 2 stools down. Orders vodka. Doesn't look at you. You know his type. You were his type. He asks if you're the one they call the mechanic. You say you used to be. He says he needs advice. A problem. Someone who won't pay. You look at him. You see yourself 30 years ago. Same hunger. Same empty space inside. Same belief that you're different, that you can control it, that you'll get out someday. You finish your drink. You stand up. You walk past him without a word. Outside, it's cold. Brighton Beach in November. The wind off the water cuts through everything. You walk toward the boardwalk. Empty this time of year. Dark. You stand at the railing and look at the water. Black and endless. Like everything else. You think about Katya. Maria. The house you looked at online. The life you almost had. You think about Volkov in Omaha. The note he wrote. You never read it. You don't know why you kept it. It's in the drawer with the photos. Maybe Diane read it. Maybe she knows he loved her. Maybe that helps. Your phone buzzes. A name. A location. A time. You don't have to go. You could walk away. Right now. Keep walking. Get on a bus. Disappear. You have money. You have skills. You could be anyone anywhere. You don't move. The phone buzzes again. Same name. Same location. Same time. You turn away from the water. You walk back toward the street. Your car is where you left it. You get in. You drive. The young guy at the bar. You'll see him again. Maybe tonight. Maybe tomorrow. He'll ask for advice. You'll give it. He'll take it. He'll become what you are. And someday, 30 years from now, he'll stand on a boardwalk in the cold and wonder how he got here. You'll be gone by then. Or you won't. Either way, it won't matter. The machine keeps running. It just needs parts. You were a part. He'll be a part. Your phone buzzes one more time. You don't look. You know where you're going. You've always known. That's the thing about this life. Nobody traps you. You just keep walking through doors that were always open. And one day you look back and can't remember where the hallway started. You're the enforcer. You wanted a normal life. You almost had it. Now you have a drawer full of photos and a phone that never stops buzzing and a cold wind off the water that feels like it's coming from inside you. You drive. The city lights blur past. Somewhere in Chicago, your daughter is asleep. She doesn't know your face except in pictures. She doesn't know you think about her every day. She doesn't know you kept every photo. You hope she never knows anything else. You hope she grows up and forgets your name. You hope she lives the life you couldn't. The phone buzzes again. You pick it up. You read the address. You drive faster. Some doors only open one way. You figured that out too late. Or maybe you always knew and just pretended otherwise. Pretending was the only normal you ever had.